Okay, so let's see the first one, that is Archaebacteria. So Archaebacteria are the most primitive prokaryotes which have been evolved immediately after the evolution of first life. As I told you, when we will study evolution in detail in class 12, then we will find that the first living entity that was originated on earth, after that the first bacteria that was originated on earth was Archaebacteria. सो दीज आर द मोस्ट प्रिमिटिव प्रोकैरियोट्स, क्योंकि सबसे पहले प्रोकैरियोट्स ही ओरिजिनेट हुए थे अर्थ के ऊपर. सो दैट इज वाई दे कैन लिव इन extremely hostile conditions. Hostile conditions means they can live in extreme conditions. If the temperature is very high or the temperature is very low or the salt concentration is very high, तो बहुत ज़्यादा जो extremely you can say conditions होती है ना, अनफेवरेबल कंडीशंस, तो उसमें दे कैन सर्वाइव. इवन अगर हम आज के बैक्टीरियाज को भी देखेंगे, अगर आप डेजर्ट्स में जाएंगे या स्नो एरिया में जाएंगे, पोलर एरियाज में जाएंगे, पोलर रीजन में या फिर हॉट स्प्रिंग्स में, everywhere you will find bacteria. So that bacteria are actually what? Archaebacteria. They also survive on earth now also. Okay, so there are three types of Archaebacteria that we are going to study: methanogens, halophiles and thermoacidophiles. On the basis of their environmental conditions where they live, the mode of nutrition, and means what are their uses. So we are going to study these three types of Archaebacteria. Let's see. So let's see the types of Archaebacteria. So first one is methanogens. So these are anaerobes, means they can survive only in the absence of oxygen. As I told you, Archaebacteria are the most primitive one, means they were present on the earth when there was no oxygen. That is why they are anaerobic in nature, means they can live without oxygen. Second is the mode of nutrition. They are autotrophic, means they can prepare their own food, but they are chemoautotrophic, because I told you that time when the earth, when the life was just originated, there was no such conditions so that the photosynthesis can occur. All that conditions were not there. So they show chemoautotrophic mode of nutrition, in which they prepare their food in the organic form from the inorganic substances. So they were using carbon and all. Okay, so next one is, they are called methanogens because they convert carbon dioxide into methane gas. So they convert carbon dioxide into methane gas. Okay, in with the help of oxygen. तो इनको मिथेनोजेंस इसीलिए ही बोला जाता है, क्योंकि ये क्या करते हैं, मीथेन गैस रिलीज़ करते हैं, कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड को यूज़ करते हैं. एनर्जी कैसे प्रोड्यूस करते हैं? बाय रिलीजिंग. और जो एनर्जी रिलीज होती है वो दे यूटिलाइज एंड दे रिलीज मीथेन गैस. दैट इज़ वाई दे आर कॉल्ड मिथेनोजेंस. Examples are Methanobacterium, Methanococcus. So these are the examples. Now what is the importance of these bacteria? They help in the fermentation of cellulose in ruminants. So ruminants कौन से organisms होते हैं? Herbivorous animals like cow, buffalo, जो कि food को as a curd की form में, means जो food को chew करते रहते हैं, continuously chew करते रहते हैं, फिर उसको curd form हो जाता है, जिससे वो back अपने stomach में फूड को एनगल्फ कर लेते हैं, फिर वो थोड़ा सा डाइजेस्टेड फूड फिर से च्यू करते रहते हैं. ठीक है, सो दे आर द रूमिनेंट्स विच इंक्लूड काउ एंड बफेलो. सो इट इज़ दीज बैक्टीरियाज आर फाउंड इन द स्टमक ऑफ द रूमिनेंट्स and they help in the fermentation of cellulose because they eat raw plants. So that is why they have to digest cellulose. So the fermentation process, you know that fermentation, it takes place in the absence of oxygen. So that is why they will help in the fermentation of cellulose. So this is the importance of these bacteria. So there are two importance. One is the they release methane gas. Second is they help the fermentation of cellulose in ruminants. Okay. So let's see the next second type of Archaebacteria. So let's see the second type of Archaebacteria, that is called halophiles. So they are called halophiles because they can survive in high salt concentration. As I told you, Archaebacteria are those bacteria which can survive in extreme means you can say high extreme conditions, unfavorable conditions. So halophiles, they can survive in high salt concentration. They are aerobic in nature. Like the first one, methanogens were anaerobic, but they are aerobic in nature. They cannot survive in anaerobic condition. They can survive, but they have some other alternatives. Otherwise, they are aerobic in nature. they are heterotrophic in nature, they are not autotrophic, they cannot prepare their food, they take their food from others, but they are chemoheterotrophic, means in the form of chemicals they take their food. Next is they can live in high salt concentration, means there are some features which help them to survive in such a high salt concentration. क्योंकि आपको पता है कि बैक्टीरिया जो होते हैं वो बहुत ज़्यादा सॉल्टी कंडीशन में सभी सर्वाइव नहीं कर सकते, बल्कि हम सॉल्ट को एज अ प्रिजर्वेटिव यूज़ करते हैं माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिजम्स को किल करने के लिए. क्योंकि जो नॉर्मल बैक्टीरिया का स्ट्रक्चर होता है, उसकी सेल वॉल, उसकी सेल मेम्ब्रेन, दे हैव अ डिफरेंट कंपोजिशन देन दीज बैक्टीरिया. दीज बैक्टीरिया हैज़ स्पेशल features, one or two special features which help them to survive in a high salt concentration. So first one is they have a mucilage covering. So around their cell wall they have a mucilage covering which do not cause the excess loss of water from these bacteria, because you know अगर हम बहुत ज़्यादा salt concentration high कर देते हैं तो exosmosis हो जाती है और कोई भी cell डेड हो जाता है एक्सेस वाटर लॉस होने की वजह से. बट इन दिस केस दे हैव अ म्यूसिलेज कवरिंग अराउंड देम ड्यू टू विच दे डू नॉट डायरेक्टली कम इन कॉन्टैक्ट विद द हाई सॉल्ट कंसनट्रेशन. ठीक है. सेकेंड इज दे हैव अ स्पेशल टाइप ऑफ लिपिड्स इन देयर सेल मेम्ब्रेन. तो अगर हम सेल मेम्ब्रेन की कंपोजिशन देखते हैं तो इट इज़ मेड अप ऑफ द लिपिड्स एंड फॉस्फोलिपिड्स एंड प्रोटीन्स. लेकिन जो इनके अंदर लिपिड्स होते हैं वो एक स्पेशल टाइप के लिपिड्स होते हैं जिनकी वजह से ये जो सेल है वो बर्स्ट नहीं होता या एक्सेस श्रिंकेज नहीं होती या डेड नहीं होता. ठीक है. एग्जाम्पल्स आर हेलोबैक्टीरियम एंड हेलोकोकस. तो ये हेलो वर्ड बेसिकली हम कब यूज़ करते हैं फॉर हाई सॉल्ट कंसनट्रेशन, और बैक्टीरियम वी यूज़ फॉर बैक्टीरिया, एंड कोकस यू नो दैट द स्फेरिकल शेप ऑफ बैक्टीरिया. सो लेट्स सी द थर्ड टाइप ऑफ आर्कीबैक्टीरिया. So let's see the third type of archibacteria, which is called thermoacidophiles. So thermoacidophiles, thermo word is used for temperature, and acido means they can live in highly acidic conditions. Means those bacteria which can live in high temperature and highly acidic conditions. Temperature of around 80 degrees Celsius and pH as low as equals to 2. Means इतने low pH और इतने high temperature पे ये survive कर सकते हैं. If we will see the mode of nutrition, first let's see they are anaerobic, means they can live in absence of oxygen, but they can also survive in presence of oxygen. In that case they will get their energy by chemosynthetic process. Chemosynthetic means they get their energy by oxidation of sulfur. तो ये क्या करते हैं, इनको सल्फर बैक्टीरियाज भी बोलते हैं. They are also called sulfur bacteria because they can oxidize. In the presence of oxygen, they oxidize sulfur into sulfuric acid and get energy. So they are chemosynthetic in nature, means they get their energy by heterotrophic, you can say. Okay. Next is so this is the thermoacidophiles bacteria. Is it clear? Means they can survive in a high temperature or highly acidic conditions. One very important point for archibacteria is they are known as ancient living fossils. Ancient living fossils. Ancient means because they are the most primitive one which can live in extremely unfavorable condition. Living fossils, fossils क्या होते हैं, जो बहुत पुराने जो हैं organisms होते हैं, इनको living fossils क्यों कहा जाता है, क्योंकि they survive on earth today also. ये सारे बैक्टीरिया आज भी अर्थ के ऊपर survive करते हैं. जैसे कंडीशंस में वो तब रहते थे वैसे ही कंडीशन में वो अभी भी रहते हैं. ठीक है. सो दैट इज़ वाई दे आर कॉल्ड एंशियंट, क्योंकि ये बहुत पुराने हैं. लिविंग फॉसिल क्योंकि दे ऑल्सो सर्वाइव ऑन अर्थ टुडे ऑल्सो. ओके. सो दिस इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट. नेक्स्ट इज़ द इकोनॉमिक इंपॉर्टेंस. ये आपका एनसीईआरटी का क्वेश्चन भी है. व्हाट इज़ द इंपॉर्टेंस और इकोनॉमिक इंपॉर्टेंस ऑफ आर्कीबैक्टीरिया, और यू कैन से यूजेज ऑफ आर्कीबैक्टीरिया. फर्स्ट इज़ द प्रोडक्शन ऑफ गोबर गैस फ्रॉम डंग, एंड सेकेंड इज़ द फर्मेंटेशन ऑफ सेल्यूलोज. ये दोनों किसके यूजेज हैं, मिथेनोजेंस के. तो जो गोबर गैस होती है उसमें क्या होता है, CO2 प्लस CH4. तो दिस इज़ अ मिक्सचर ऑफ मीथेन एंड CO2. सो दैट इज़ ऑब्टेन्ड फ्रॉम मिथेनोजेंस. तो इस गैस को हम यूज़ कर सकते हैं, डंग का यूज़ करके, सीवेज वेस्ट का यूज़ करके ये गैस प्रोड्यूस कर सकते हैं. एज अ फ्यूल इट कैन बी यूज्ड. एंड सेकेंड इज़ द फर्मेंटेशन ऑफ सेल्यूलोज, जो कि हमने रूमिनेंट्स में पढ़ा था कि जो मिथेनोजेंस होते हैं, मिथेनोबैक्टीरियम, ये कहाँ होते हैं, रूमिनेंट्स के स्टमक में, जहाँ पे उनको सेल्यूलोज की फर्मेंटेशन करने में हेल्प करते हैं ये. ठीक है. सो दिस इज़ ऑल अबाउट आर्कीबैक्टीरिया एंड दिस क्वेश्चन इज़ देयर इन योर NCERT बुक. सो लेट्स सी द नेक्स्ट वन. So let's see the next bacteria, that is a type of bacteria, that is the cyanobacteria, or it is also called as blue-green algae. As we have discussed, the bacteria are the most primitive organisms. Out of these, the cyanobacteria, the only organisms that was originated on earth which shows the photosynthetic autotrophic mode of nutrition. So they are photosynthetic prokaryotes which will perform photosynthesis properly, same as the plants performed, today's plants performed. But we cannot keep them in the plant category because they don't have other features which matches with the plant. So that is why we have kept it into the bacteria, because its other features matches with the bacteria. So it shows oxygenic photosynthesis, means it will release oxygen by performing photosynthesis. How does it perform photosynthesis? It has some photosynthetic pigments in it like chlorophyll A, carotenoids. So these are the pigments which will help it to perform photosynthesis. The important point of cyanobacteria is they are found everywhere on earth. As I told you, they have a high tolerant power because they were the most primitive organisms on earth. So they are found everywhere on earth, like in the fresh water, sea water, hot springs, tree trunks, moist soil. Everywhere you can find the cyanobacteria. Okay. For example, and there is one example given in your book, that is called Red Sea. जो सी के अंदर जब बैक्टीरिया ग्रो करते हैं, ये साइनोबैक्टीरिया ग्रो करते हैं, तो इट गिव्स अ रेड अपीयरेंस टू द सी. रेड सी का आपने नेम भी सुना होगा. दैट रेड अपीयरेंस ऑफ द सी इज ड्यू टू दिस साइनोबैक्टीरिया. इट्स नेम इज ट्राइकोडेस्मियम अरिथ्रेरियम. Trichodesmium erythraeum. So this red sea is because of this cyanobacteria which have a red color pigment in it which gives the red color to the sea. Other examples are nostoc, spirulina, etc. And they can survive in any type of condition, like sometimes they form cysts or heterocysts which are called heterocysts around them, which will help them to survive in any kind of condition. So let's see the next one, that is mycoplasma. So let's see the next one, that is mycoplasma or PPLO. So these are the simplest and smallest free living prokaryotes. The most important point is that these are the smallest microorganisms or smallest organisms on earth. Their size varies from 0.1 to 0.5 micrometer. Okay. Other characteristic feature is that cell wall is absent in them. So they are you can say polymorphic, means they can change their shape because of the absence of cell wall. Why they are called PPLO? What does this PPLO means? PPLO means pleuropneumonia-like organisms. Pleuropneumonia-like organisms. Because they were first discovered in the pleural fluid of cattle that was suffering from pleuropneumonia. तो प्लूरोनिमोनिया जो है वो एक डिजीज़ है जिससे कैटल सफ़र कर रही थी. एंड व्हेन दे सॉ दिस it under the microscope, they found these organisms in them. That is why they are called pleuropneumonia like organisms. Their mode of nutrition is heterotrophic, mostly saprophytic, and the most common type is parasitic. As I told you, it is found in cattle, so that is why they have a heterotrophic mode of nutrition. So this is all about mycoplasma, and we have done with the different types of bacteria. Now we will study the mode of nutrition and mode of reproduction in bacteria. So let's see the mode of nutrition in bacteria. So there are three modes of nutrition: chemoautotrophic, photoautotrophic, and heterotrophic mode of nutrition. So as we have already discussed, chemoautotrophic, in which the bacteria, they will use inorganic substances and convert into organic substances. It will include nitrifying bacteria and sulfur oxidizing bacteria. Nitrifying bacteria use nitrogen, they fix nitrogen and prepare their food, and sulfur oxidizing bacteria, they will get energy by oxidizing sulfur. So example of nitrifying bacteria is Nitrosomonas, and sulfur oxidizing bacteria is Thiobacillus. Next is photoautotrophic. For example, green sulfur bacteria and cyanobacteria, that is blue-green algae, we have already discussed. Next is heterotrophic, that is saprophytic. Generally the saprophytic mode of nutrition is most common type, which will feed upon dead organic matter to convert it into the organic matter, and they survive in anaerobic condition. And for example, Pseudomonas. So Pseudomonas is the example of heterotrophic bacteria showing saprophytic mode of nutrition. So this is just the general you can say overview of the mode of nutrition in bacteria. So let's see the mode of reproduction. So let's see the mode of reproduction in bacteria. So bacteria can reproduce asexually by binary fission or under unfavorable conditions by spore formation, and also shows sexual mode of reproduction. So binary fission, in this asexually the bacteria will divide. How will it work? As you know, bacteria is a prokaryote, so it doesn't has a proper nucleus or the cell organelles present in it. So the genetic material, that is the DNA, is present in the form of nucleoid. First, this nucleoid will start dividing into two parts. Like in amoeba, we have studied many times in class 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, everywhere. So same is the process. So first the nucleoid will divide into two parts, then cell wall will undergo invagination, and then the cell cytoplasm will also be divided to form two daughter bacteria. Just a simple process. Next is spore formation. When the conditions are not favorable for sexual reproduction, then they undergo spore formation. Under unfavorable condition, they form endospores. So these endospores, they have a hard covering around them in which bacteria will reside, and they can tolerate very adverse conditions. Even a temperature around 100 degrees Celsius they can tolerate. That is why these are the most primitive one. They can survive in any type of condition due to these endospores formation present in them. When the conditions become favorable, then the spore wall break down and the bacteria come out from the endospore for further germination. Next is the sexual mode of reproduction. We need not to go in such detail what are the processes. I am just telling you a brief idea of sexual mode of reproduction. There are three types: conjugation, transformation and transduction. In conjugation, the two bacteria, they will come closer to each other. There is a contact comes between two bacteria with the conjugation tube. इस तरह से एक बैक्टीरिया के अंदर दो बैक्टीरिया जो हैं वो एक दूसरे के क्लोजर आते हैं और इनके बीच में कॉन्जुगेशन ट्यूब फॉर्म हो जाती है, एंड थ्रू दिस ट्यूब दे विल एक्सचेंज देयर न्यूक्लियर मटेरियल. दिस इज द मोड ऑफ कॉन्जुगेशन. इन ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन, only a small portion of one DNA from one bacteria will enter into the second bacteria. So the bacteria which will provide its DNA will be acting as a male bacteria, and which will receive will be acting as a female bacteria. And transduction is the process in which a small portion of DNA is transferred from one bacteria to other through the help of viruses. Means एक थर्ड ऑर्गेनिज्म को यूज़ करके वो अपना बैक्टीरिया जो है अपने DNA को ट्रांसफ़र करते हैं, and this is the mode of reproduction in bacteria. So is it clear? So with this we are finished with the Monera, kingdom Monera, and you have to do this much only, whatever I have told you in my videos. So in the next class we will start with next kingdom, kingdom Protista. Thank you.